My name's Andrew Livingstone. I'm a senior lecturer in social psychology and I'm group lead for the social, environmental and organisational research group here at Exeter. As a large and diverse group, we look at many different aspects of how people behave and interact in society. We look at the effects of inequality, discrimination and stigma, for example, and when and why people protest against inequality. Other research focuses on how people reason about moral issues and when and why people, including children and adults, behave in helpful, pro-social ways towards others. We also look at social aspects of health and well-being and try to apply our insights to produce positive change in society, looking at how group processes and technology can be used to shape health, well-being and pro-environmental behaviour, and to promote positive, peaceful relations between groups in society. In my own research, I look at when and why people protest against social inequality or for social change, and how conflict between groups in society arises and how it can be prevented and resolved. For example, with colleagues in Chile, we've looked at the factors that have shaped the enormous social protests that have taken place in the country in recent years. My research also looks at the factors that help build trust and reconciliation between groups in the aftermath of conflict. And we're starting to look at how we can use these insights to have a positive impact on conflict-affected societies. For instance, in how we can use communication between Catholic and Protestant communities in Northern Ireland to build a sense of mutual understanding as a basis for greater trust and hope for the future.
Hi, I'm Adam Rutland. I am a professor in social developmental psychology at Exeter. Many phenomena that social psychologists study, for example, prejudice and social identity, develop in childhood. They're not there at birth, and they change as our brains develop and we experience new environments. My lab is one of the few in the world that researches how with age we get better at navigating being in social groups, showing more nuanced reasoning about complex social and moral issues. These issues can include, for example, whether to share resources with people from different groups, whether to identify with different social groups, whether to include peers from other social groups, and whether to stand up to a bully if they actually exclude a peer because they are different from you. In a UK government-funded project, we're looking at when and why do British children and adolescents challenge the social exclusion of immigrants when they witness it as a bystander. And what we do is we present children with imaginary scenarios or get them to play online games involving exclusion and bullying, and we look at how they think and reason about these situations and how they say they will respond. And we found that children will challenge but do not recognise that exclusion often has its roots in prejudice. While adolescents, they do understand that this exclusion can be based in prejudice, but they're often unsure how their peer group react to them if they actually challenge the exclusion they're witnessing. We also study how, between child and adolescence, we develop social identities and associated stereotypes around being, for example, a girl, a South Asian British child, a Muslim, or being a scientist, for example. These identities and stereotypes can play an important role in motivating our behaviour. For example, in the Anglo-American project, we're showing that when youth who are underrepresented in the field of science develop a sense of belonging to or a sense of inclusivity around working in a science museum or science centre, they are more interested in pursuing a career in science. And this shows how these informal science learning sites like museums can help increase the much needed diversity we need in terms of who does science.
Looking to the future as a research group, we're continuously seeking to develop and apply our insights to big social challenges like health and well-being, social cohesion, inequality, conflict, and climate change and the environment.